What's going on, guys? It's Jaron from WearTesters.com here with the first impression on the Kyrie 1. You guys have been hounding us in the comment section through any form of social media, Instagram, Twitter, the comments on Wear Testers, YouTube. You're always asking us, where's the first look for the Kyrie? Are you going to do a Kyrie 1 performance review? Are you picking up the Kyrie? What do you think about the Kyrie? Kyrie. I get it. You guys are really excited about this shoe. We understand that. It took us a while to get the shoe, but I got mine at House of Hoops and Chris is getting his through the mail. And during the holiday season, all packages are delayed. It's just something you have to live with. But have no fear. I'm here. Here's the first impression on the Kyrie 1. So here it is. I picked up the Dream colorway. Now out of all the colorways that I've seen of the Kyrie 1, this is the one that I hate the least. I kind of like it, but I'm not fully sold on it. But all the other ones, I'm just not interested in it. So I went ahead and picked this up at my local House of Hoops. I asked for a size 10.5. They didn't have it. They had a size 11. And I decided to pick it up, even though it was a half size larger. And I'll get to that later. But let's just get started with the traction. So when I first saw photos of the Kyrie 1, the first thing that caught my eye was the traction pattern, and rightfully so. Check it out. You have full length herringbone and it's dynamic. You can see how it twists here in the forefoot, so it's gonna cover you in even more angles than it would if it were just straight back and forth. Also, the rubber is very pliable, so it's great for those indoor floors. Outdoors, however, this might not last too long, but you never know. I do wonder if dust will easily get caught between these small grooves, but with a few wipes you should have no problems whatsoever. One of my favorite things about the traction is how it wraps up onto this midsole right here in this high intensity area. That's a really good feature. I love it when shoes do this, and I'm really looking forward to playing in these on court. Going on to the cushion setup with the Kyrie 1, you have a 4-foot Zoom Air unit. Now I'm not expecting much as far as cushion goes for the Kyrie 1. I expect it to be low profile and not too much bounce because these days Zoom Air bags are so thin. So if I feel any bounce back or ultra responsiveness, I'm going to be surprised. Going along for the materials, you have this Hyperfuse upper that looks very first gen, but upon closer look, it's a little bit softer than, say, the first Hyperfuse that we saw. Nike says that it's very breathable, but the only breathability that I see in this shoe is right here in the forefoot. Everything else is underlaid by Hyperfuse, blocking heat from escaping and allowing airflow to go through the shoe. Also, this tongue has no breathability whatsoever, but since it is a fabric-like material, there may be very minimal breathability through this tongue area. But the upper looks to be very durable, as you have another layer of Hyperfuse here in the toe box for those toe drags and on the eyelets to prevent ripping. The heel counter here is inspired by high fashion due to its geometric design, but it's also coupled as a stability heel cup to keep your heel locked down and in place and on the footbed. The tongue is made of like a neoprene, very soft upper. It's the same material that you can see here in the inner lining. And in the heel area, you can't really see in the video, but it has those foam panels that you saw in the Hyper Rev, but they're there to add structural support for your ankle and heel areas. So like I said, the breathability on the Kyrie 1 seems very limited to me. It is in the front toe box area on top, so heat does escape since heat rises, but other than that, there's not a lot of places for heat to escape or air to flow through. That's a huge disappointment for me, especially since Nike marketed it as a very breathable upper. I'm not fully sold on the materials on the Kyrie 1 yet. I'm not a huge fan of this Hyperfuse construction, but that can all change when I get on the court and start playing basketball in them. One thing, this is just a personal nitpick of mine, I don't really like the tongue. It kind of bulges out when you tie them up real nice. It's not very form-fitting. I would like to see something more minimal, more low profile, and also breathable, because like I said, heat does rise, so that's where it's gonna escape, and having the tongue be breathable is really good for its ventilation. It's kind of all you really need. So the reason why I got a size 11, like I mentioned earlier, is because I really like this colorway and they didn't have a size 10.5, but when I tried it on, they were really narrow, especially in this midfoot area. It actually felt like a 10.5 to me. Now granted, the forefoot is a little bit longer because I did go up half a size. it's not that big of a problem in my opinion. Also, going up half a size is a normal thing for a lot of basketball players. I know Ray Allen went up half a size and he says that saved his legs a couple years in his career. So if you cannot try these on at your local House of Hoops, Foot Locker, wherever they're selling these, I would recommend going up half a size. Please trust me, especially if you have a wide foot, because it is a very narrow shoe. Now, it might break in, it might loosen up, but with Hyperfuse it doesn't really work like that. With raw materials, absolutely things can break in and loosen up, but with the Hyperfuse you kind of get what you get out of the box. So I would recommend going up half a size. That's only if you can't try them on. If you can try them on, go do it for yourself. Everyone's foot is different and I don't know you personally, so just do that for yourself. But since this is the first look at the Kyrie one, I'm gonna go over some aesthetic features for you guys. Here on the tongue you have Kyrie's logo. Inside the tongue you have his signature, the same that you saw on the box. I really like this swoosh, how it's a kind of a gradient design on both the medial and lateral sides. It also seems like this soft neoprene material that you can see in the inner lining and the tongue makes its way into the toe box, so it's gonna be really good when you're flexing in that forefoot area. I personally don't mind this colorway. As you can see, this is the dream colorway and it has some interesting design patterns about Kyrie's life and all of that. There's a skull that I saw right there. It looks like there's some Aborigine tribal patterns. I don't really know. It's kind of really all abstract. There's not much you can pick up for it. You can see there's a number 2 right there. But the overall colors, it kind of reminds me of that rainbow sherbet they used to get as a kid. You know what I'm talking about? It's not terrible, but it's not the best color combinations that I've seen. I really like this area right here. I know some people don't, but it is reminiscent of the Sydney Opera House. Australia is actually where Kyrie was born, I believe. But to me, it looks like the Jordan 5 World War II plain teeth to me, so I like that feature a lot. So all in all, for $110, this is a signature shoe, and that is a great price. And I think the reason why people are intrigued of the Kyrie one is because Kyrie is a very relatable guy to us regular dudes. I mean, think about it. Kevin Durant's 7 feet tall. He's a scoring machine. He has arms that touch the ground when he's standing up straight. And LeBron is just an absolute cyborg. You can't really be those guys on the court. But Kyrie, he's this regular point guard with mad handles, a sick shot, and great moves at the rim. And we all like to play like that, especially on the blacktop. So I think a lot of people are intrigued by the Kyrie one because he's very relatable to us. And also for that $110 price tag, you really can't beat that for a signature model. Not even Under Armour can do that yet. But I'm really looking forward to this traction. I think it's gonna be absolutely outstanding. I'm skeptical of the cushion setup and the materials, and it's kind of a bummer that it's not very breathable. It might actually end up being a problem, but there's only one way to find out, for me to actually go on the court and wear test these for you guys. So stay tuned for the performance review from me and Nightwing, and until next time guys, peace.
Cleveland is that. Cleveland is the. Cleveland is the reason I'm cold. Cleveland is that.